having 5 kids. Okay, we can barely get in the car as is. Hey girl. Okay y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Erica. If this is your first time watching, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. So as you guys can tell from the title, today I'm going to be talking about my postpartum journey. If this is your first time here, 2 months ago I gave birth to boy-girl twins named Phoenix and Fox, and I'm just going to be sharing with you guys basically how my postpartum journey is going thus far. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a lot. So if you're looking for one of those like cookie cutter postpartum, this is not the video for you. This is going to be the real, all things tea hunty, okay? And we're gonna be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so first things first, I am officially 2 months postpartum. Phoenix and Fox turned 2 months on the 24th. This has been a journey all in its own, and this has been way different than any of my other kids that I've had with MEILANI or with NYLAH. My postpartum journey has been completely different. So I had a C-section. I did not have a vaginal delivery. With MEILANI and with NYLAH, I did have vaginal delivery. So my postpartum recovery was pretty fast. I dropped the weight in a matter of like a few weeks. My stomach was back flat, pretty much as normal as it looks after you've had a baby. That's how my stomach was looking. The first thing that I noticed after delivering the twins is that my stomach was extremely swollen. When I say swollen, I don't mean swollen as in like big for the most part. I mean like swollen as in the texture on my stomach. I'll try to insert a picture if I'm comfortable doing so. I don't know, y'all, I may not. But if I am, if I can get like up close enough so you guys can see what I'm talking about, I will insert a picture. So yeah, so my stomach was extremely swollen and the texture was different. Like when you felt my stomach, it had like ripples in it and like it was really swollen and had a different texture to it. And I still to this day do not know like what that's called. I've talked to my doctor about it in the hospital. When I brought it to my doctor's attention, he kind of just acted like it was normal. He didn't say what it was. He just told me to put like ice on it or something cooling on it within like the next couple of weeks. I would say that the swelling of my stomach is probably the most thing that I was insecure about. It wasn't even me dropping the weight. It wasn't like the stretch marks that I got. It was more so the swellingness of my stomach and the fact that the swelling hurt more than anything. Y'all, the swelling on my stomach hurt more than my incision, than my C-section incision. That's how like painful it was for me. So because of the swelling on my stomach, I couldn't wear like the panties that I intended to wear, like the cotton panties that I intended to wear, because the band on the panties was like pressing against my stomach, like up towards my belly button. And then I couldn't wear regular panties because that would be sitting on my incision. So outside of the mesh panties that the hospital gave me that I actually did end up wearing, and I actually did like them. Like I love them, y'all. They were so comfortable for me in this particular situation that I was in. So I love them. So outside of the couple of extra pairs that the hospital gave me, I actually went on Amazon and I ordered like 10 more pairs of mesh panties. Like I lived in mesh panties probably for about 2.5 weeks because the swelling on my stomach just hurt so bad that no other panties were comfortable for me to wear. The first week and a half, I did not bleed, but the second week, honey, I was bleeding so much. Which you think you have a C-section, you're not going to bleed as much, but at the same time, your uterus is still contracting, so there is going to be some bleeding. So even throughout our 2 days in the hospital and like the next like week and a half of being home, I was not bleeding. It may have been like a little bit after I like went to the bathroom or something, but it wasn't nothing like it had been in the past. So as well as the swelling, I did get like a few additional stretch marks, which I'm not really worried about. That's just going to, you know, it is what it is. I've carried 4 children. And this last time I obviously carried twins. So I got super, super big, y'all. I think when I went in for like my 32-week checkup or like 33-week checkup, my doctor said I was already measuring like 39 weeks. So you could only imagine, like, I was really, really big. Like, I'm going to insert a picture, y'all, so y'all can really see how big I was. And when I went to my 6-week postpartum check, my doctor was just basically explaining to me, he was like, you know, I'm pretty sure you're used to your body just kind of going back to how it was, but you just have to be patient with yourself. You just have to give yourself some time because you carry twins. Like, you carry twins. Your body's not going to snap back the way you want it to, you know? And honestly, y'all, like, that's probably the biggest thing for me. It's just kind of just feeling a little bit insecure within my body. I did get back down to my pre-pregnancy weight. I think like 4 or 5 days after having them, I was back down to my pre-pregnancy weight, which was 149. But still, like, in my stomach area, my stomach was still really swollen. My stomach was just tender. It hurt. The texture was still kind of off. Like, even my belly button was kind of like shifted over. My belly button still isn't even aligned with like my stomach yet. It's still kind of shifted over to the side because my stomach still has to come in more. Like, I still have to close up more. As far as breastfeeding goes, I did not breastfeed them. We as women need to normalize the fact that it's okay not to be successful breastfeeding, or it's okay not to be successful pumping. Like, that's completely normal. Not everyone has the milk supply to breastfeed. Not everyone has the milk supply to pump. Like, some women just don't. And that's okay. Like, that's okay if your baby is formula fed, sis. As long as your baby is eating, as long as your baby is growing and thriving and getting all of the nutrients and vitamins that he or she needs, sis, he or she, like, they will be okay, sis. Don't let nobody tell you you're less of a mom because you didn't breastfeed, or you're less of a mom because you weren't able to pump and you were formula feeding. No one is going to make me feel any type of way, because, sis, I bared 4 children. Okay? This body is amazing. Period. Period, poop. Okay? Like I was saying, me personally, I did not breastfeed because breastfeeding is a journey all in its own when you have 1 child, let alone having 2 children. And for the most part, I'm just going to be honest, y'all. Like, I just didn't want my kids living on my boobs. I just didn't want to be a walking, talking milk machine, I guess. Like, I just didn't. I didn't want my babies to live on my boobs. That just was not the road for me. Have twins that you've breastfed, baby, more power to you, mama. More power to you, okay? Me personally, that just wasn't my journey. So I decided to pump instead. It was hard. It was hard from the very first day I started doing it. When I got out of the hospital, it was hard. It was hard a month later. It was hard 2 months later. And eventually I just kind of dwindled off and stopped doing it because it was just so difficult for me to pump 10 to a 2.5-year-old, 10 to a 5-year-old with autism. Like, it was just so much, as well as tending to these 2 new babies. Like, it just started to become too much. It just started to become too much. And I also wasn't producing enough milk for 2 babies. Like, I was producing enough milk for 1 baby, but I was not producing enough milk for both of them. So we had to put them on formula. I'm completely okay with that. They're getting all the nutrients they need. It's like, they're good. So I'm completely comfortable with the decision to formula feed them, and I'm okay with knowing that pumping just didn't work for me. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Like, just don't be so hard on yourself if it doesn't work for you. I did try things to increase my milk supply. I ate the cookies. I ate the little granola bars. They were disgusting, and I still was trying it, and nothing was working. So right now, 2 months, I would say that I feel good. I feel good, even though I do have some insecurities about my abdomen area, and even though my stomach doesn't look like it looked with NYLAH 2 months postpartum or with MEILANI 2 months postpartum. I feel like this is just going to be a journey for me. And honestly, realistically, my body will probably not be the same for a few months. It may take 5-6 months for me to be completely comfortable in my skin again. And I'm not gonna lie, it's summertime when I'm going to get my nails done and I put on a little dress. Like, I'm very self-conscious. It's just something that I'm just going to have to just work through. As far as working out, I have started incorporating little at-home workouts and just trying to just work on that area and just be healthy, just trying to be healthy. And that's the most important thing to me. I'm not eating a bunch of junk food. I'm not drinking a lot of soda and juice anymore. I've kind of like toned down, and I'm drinking lots of water, trying to do my at-home workouts, wearing my waist trainer. Also started back taking my apple cider vinegar supplements. As far as my cycle, I did get my cycle when I was 6 weeks postpartum, and y'all, it was horrible. Like, I could not wait for it to leave. I could not wait for it to stop. It was just so heavy. TMI, but I was just going through so many pads a day. It was ridiculous. Like, I was bleeding a lot, and I bled for a long time. I was on my period for over a week. It was at least 8 or 9 days that I was on my period. Before I had the twins, I did want to get on some type of birth control for a few months, like maybe 2 or 3 months, just so I could regulate my period, and then I was just going to get off of it because I did get my tubes tied. So when I received my C-section, my doctor just went ahead and tied my tubes, and it's permanent. I'm not naive. I have heard stories of women getting pregnant like 10-12 years after they've had a tubal done. I'm just not going to speak that into my life, okay? Because God knows I'm done, okay? I can't handle anymore. I just feel like when you are having children, every mom, every couple knows their limit. Have I been feeling any like postpartum depression or like baby blues or anything like that? And honestly, y'all, I haven't, which is actually kind of weird, especially because we're like under quarantine. We can't go anywhere. We can't really do anything because with everything going on, I did think that maybe I would feel a little down or like a little isolated and maybe would get a little sad. And I haven't experienced anything like that. Also, as far as postpartum hair loss or hair thinning, I haven't experienced any of that either. I'm not too concerned about. I did not experience it with MEILANI or with NYLAH. And right now, these last few months, I have actually not been putting heat in my hair. I'm actually going through the process of transitioning my hair. So I'm praying that me kind of transitioning my hair is happening at an amazing time. And because I'm not putting heat on my hair or anything, I can reduce the postpartum hair loss or hopefully avoid it altogether. But I guess we'll see. Whatever God has in store for me and my hair, that's what it's going to be. So I know that was a lot, probably in a short amount of time, but that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. My next video outside of like vlogs is going to be the 2-month twin update. So I'm going to be talking to you all things twins, and how it's been and how they've been doing for these past 2 months as well. Don't forget to tune into that video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.